Hi everyone, this video is for you if you hate masks. Really, really, really hate masks. I bet there's a few things you don't know about them that you might want to. I want to address all of the things that you may say that you hate masks for and see if these problems help you solve it, help you through it, help you adjust to it in any way. Also, we'll go into some of the points that other people have brought up about masks that aren't related to mask wearing issues. So first, are your glasses fogging up? Yeah, a lot of people's are. And I got a trick, actually two tricks for that. First trick is to take off your glasses. Then you put your mask on and pull it up to your eyes. Right below your eyes there, as high as you can stand it. Then you put your glasses on top of your nose and on top of the mask. So the glasses are sitting on the mask, not on your nose. So you need to have them a little further down than you might be used to. If you do that, your glasses may not fog up so much. If they still do, even with that, because your glasses shape might be more like this, those do have that problem still. If so, here's the trick number 2. Take the nose piece, with the little wire in it, if you have it, or if you don't, it doesn't matter if you do or don't. Turn it inside out. So that wire is now inside. And then bend it around your nose. Again, squish your nose real hard so it provides a nice little tight barrier. And there you go. This, and then your glasses, raise it up. Put your glasses on top of it again. Yes, you're going to have less on your chin. That's okay. You don't need to cover your chin. Your chin doesn't need protecting. All you need to do is to have it as close to the bottom of your eyes as possible. And then your glasses are as low on the mask as possible. That way it'll stop and it'll make the air go upward instead of onto your lenses. Now let's talk about breathing. Breathing issues. If you are feeling like you can't breathe, no matter what, it's too hot outside. It's 90 degrees outside right now. And there's no AC really in this room. So I get it, and I'm in an attic. I'm sitting here with this mask on and I'm actually having no problems. Why? Because I learned how to breathe properly with it. Now, I was trained to wear a mask a while ago in Japan. I've been wearing one for 7 years. So right now wearing a mask at all, cloth mask or regular mask, it's no problem to me. In fact, I often wear 2 masks at the same time when I go out. So let's talk about breathing. How do you breathe properly with a mask? You need to breathe a little harder than you normally do. That's pretty much it. So I'm going to show you exactly what I do by taking off my mask. I breathe in more forcefully. That'll rush in cold air and more oxygen to my mouth. So yeah, wait a minute, what about your nose? No. Stop breathing through your nose. Now, with a mask, you become a mouth breather. So breathe through your mouth really forcefully. And then when you blow out like you're blowing out a candle. And just breathe like that. Yes, it's weird. Yes, it's an adjustment. And it's the one thing they've never really told us about masks as Americans. There's an adjustment to them. It's not just simply put on the mask and go. Nobody taught anybody about masks, did they? So let me be the first to give you the tips and the tricks and the background stuff to wearing masks, and we'll address the other points later on. Anyway, so breathe in really forcefully. Your mask can go in your mouth a little bit. That's fine. So anybody says otherwise, they basically just shut up. You're still trying to adjust to a mask, right? Yeah. So breathe in really forcefully. Breathe out like a candle. Do that as often as you need. You can do that every second, every breath you take. It's okay. Over time, you'll notice yourself needing to do it less and less and less because you're adjusting to it, because your body and your brain is adjusting to having less oxygen. Because when you breathe out and you breathe in, you're basically telling your brain, oh, okay, we can get oxygen when we need it. We're good. And when you rush in that cold air, it cools down your face for a second. Then it gets hot again, and then you can cool it down again. So your body says, okay, we can get coolness when we need it. So no need to pull down, pant, and pull up again. Just power through it for a while. Yes, it'll take you a few days. If you have COPD, if you have other things going on. Asthma, yeah, it might take you a little bit longer. That's okay. It will. And I totally understand if you got breathing issues, that makes these even worse. But keep doing this. Breathe a little more hard than you're even normally breathing hard if you have to. But don't worry, your brain will adjust to it. Your brain will say, all right, cool. We don't need to panic, we just need to adjust. It's like us adjusting to cold weather clothing when it's cold and hot weather clothing, less clothing when it's hot. It really is about the same. We adjust to things. It takes us a minute, but we adjust to things over about a week's time. So let's see, what's another thing? So that addresses most of them. Some people may say that they are having skin breakouts. Now that one, yeah, because you got the stuff rubbing on your face, you're going to have skin breakouts. I recommend that if you can, talk to some sort of skin specialist, even just asking a quick question. There's plenty of websites out there that are like, you can hire them to just ask them a question, get some recommendations from them. Even talking to a beauty specialist might actually have similar things, especially, if it's just like light skin breakouts or something. You can go talk to a specialist. There's like tons of people on internet, on websites that you can just hire them for the questions, and then poof. And then you can spread that word of what's working for you when you do find something to stop the skin breakouts. All right. I am not sure if that solves most people's issues with them, but now let's talk about the people that don't want to wear a mask because it's somehow not American. I'm really curious how they got that, if you did that, how you got that opinion. Because wearing masks is not American or non-American. Why is there some sort of Americanness attached to it? It doesn't make sense. It's literally just to protect you and I from this virus that's going around. Oh, you don't believe in the virus? There's 120,000 dead. Did they just drop dead out of some new condition? Like, seriously, there's no other condition they could have dropped out. It's all the flu? Okay, well then we've got a flu that we need to get rid of anyway. And another flu that's worse that we need to get rid of anyway. Okay, you don't believe how viral it is. You don't believe how bad it is. I get it. You don't want to believe, that's fine. Nobody's going to even try to convince you otherwise. Scientists, you don't believe in scientists, you don't believe in doctors, you don't believe in anybody but yourself. All right, cool. Let's just think about this from your perspective then. If I was, like you may be, I don't believe the doctors, I don't believe scientists. Do you believe in yourself? If you do, then you want to protect yourself from any potential harm? Do you want to protect your family, your children? Oh no, but no children are dying. Oh yes, they are. Go look. Just go look. You'll see. Yes, children are dying. Actually, it seems to be hitting people with blood types more forcefully. Blood types. And that doesn't mean that if you have one type of blood, it means you're incapable of spreading it. It's that if you have one type of blood and you're spreading it to somebody with another type of blood, that other type of blood is going to die. You're effectively spreading a disease to somebody you know can murder somebody. Why do you feel okay murdering somebody? Because it's not your fault? No, it is. I mean, you're spreading something that you know. If you believe in it, then you know it can. I think people think that if they don't believe in it, it's not real. No. It's real. We can see it. We can verify it. We can look at it through a microscope. Yeah, you can't see it with your own eyes because it's too small, but there are things that are too small for us to see. Like, that's obvious. There's also too big for us to comprehend, and they exist. So, of course, I get that if you don't want to believe in it, it's fine. But when would you want to protect yourself and your family? I mean, that's why you have guns for, is to protect yourself and your family. So consider this like a gun to protect yourself and your family. Because your family might have the type of blood that is potentially now being hit harder. Do you want to be responsible for your children dying because they were hit harder than you thought, and you thought that they could survive it, but they couldn't? because they had some other underlying condition even that you never knew about, like a heart murmur or something, why do you want to take that chance? And then I want to address the Americanness of it. It's not American, as I said. It's health. Why was it associated with Americanness? Why did you associate it with being un-American? I want to get into that because I don't think it's about America. I think it's because of culture. And the culture changed overnight. Like that, your world exploded, didn't it? So did mine. A couple of my friends have lost their jobs, lost their entire industries. Not just jobs, but one of them lost their entire industry. She couldn't go back to doing the same thing she wanted if she tried. All of her skills are for a whole different subsect is now gone. Anyway, what was I saying? Your world, your culture, our culture changed literally overnight. I want you to ask yourself, did you give permission for that to happen? No, you didn't. Is that the reason you're upset? I bet it is. I'm guessing you may have some feelings about giving permission. I don't need to have permission. I don't need to wear a mask. You don't need to. But you're murdering. Yes, you're not directly murdering, but you seem to be okay with the potential of being a murderer. Why is that? It's not about the mask. It's about you not given permission for your culture to change. You don't get that choice. None of us get that choice. We all reacted in the way we did, and for a minute, there was clarity, and we were listening to science only, and things were making sense. While other things were not making sense, we needed info. We needed it really badly, and we were just going straight to the scientists, not waiting for the news to tell us. And the scientists were giving us very clear information. However, science gives us too clear of information, and that too clear of information maybe we don't understand. So that's where people started being like, wait, I don't understand all of this. I didn't give permission for all this change. Oh my God, my whole world has changed. Yeah, I get it. I understand. It was scary for all of us. It was confusing for all of us. Every time I went into my job, everything changed. Every time I went out, there was some sort of new rule and regulation I had to follow. Suddenly it was not there. Does that mean my freedom was limited? Oh no. Yes and no. Let me just say it. Yes and no. My freedom to do what I thought was normal was limited. But my freedom to go out places was not. I could still go walk around. Business is shut. Yes, business is shut down. Did that limit my freedom? No. I just suddenly did not have that choice of business, but that's the business's choice. Other people get the same freedoms that I get. Or at least they're supposed to. That's a different conversation. So, yes, I didn't have the choice to go to where I wanted. So, yes and no. Yes and no. There was a little bit of a difference in what we were supposed to do. But by far, was there a complete lack of freedom for us? No. They just said stay at home for this certain time for us to potentially get this virus out, or at least let the hospitals catch up, which we did. And for most of the cities, St. Louis, for example, has been one of the best examples of keeping that curve flat. Now, that curve flat means like this. We're still up here. We're still getting the virus. There's still cases of the virus going on, and it's still spreading like crazy, guys. Here's zero. Here's us. We flatten the curve, and it's not going down. Flatten the curve does not mean this. Flatten the curve means not this. So we are not going up now. We're just being like this over the whole USA. Do we want to get down here? That's a question for you, isn't it? I don't know if you do. You want your world to be back to normal so much, you're willing to murder. You're willing to become a type of murderer for it? You're letting to continue having this virus up here. I don't think you want to go back to normal, because the way for us to go back to normal, to the culture that you knew, the culture that you gave permission for, would be for you to stay home for another 2 months, or all of us to shut down everything again. Oh my God, you can't do that, right? Well, I'm just going to put this little point into your head. Hairdressers, they're back open. They can only take one person at a time for the entire studio, maybe two. Do you think they can raise a family on that? Every single hairdresser you know is about to go out of business. They can't keep running their practice anymore. And yes, it is a practice. It's an art. It's a practice, just like a doctor's office. They can't keep running their practice on 2 people an hour. And not even an hour, sorry. An hour is a big time. That's like per person. 1 hour, 1 haircut, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Then they have to sanitize and everything just to make sure they're trying to stay as safe as they can. They can't operate on this for long. So by you saying, I don't need to wear a mask, I have my freedom, you're basically not just murdering people, but murdering every single small business out there. By us keeping this line, let me use my other hands here, by keeping this line flat and up here, you're making sure you can never get a haircut again. You're making sure you shut down every single small business. You're making sure that more people are out of jobs. You're making sure that people die. You're making sure that you die. I just want to ask, are you trying to do this intentionally? Let's get this into the freedom thing a little bit more here. You have the freedom to not wear a mask. You have the freedom to not wear a mask. So let me put it this way. If the people in government are violating your rights by making you wear a mask, making you social distance, making you do this and that, what right are they violating? Which one? Can you point to it on our Constitution, in our laws? Help me out here. What right exactly are they violating? Freedom to not wear a mask? There's no law on that. There's nothing. That's an overnight thing here. That's not something that you have the right to do or not do. There's no thing about it. So I just need to ask, what right are you violating exactly? I will wait. Please feel free to leave this in the comments. I will happily look into it and see what you mean. And then I'll make another video about it, because if you're right, you're right. And then maybe we need to either change some things so people don't feel like their rights are being violated by wearing a mask. But as far as I can tell, we don't have a rule in our Constitution about freedom to not wear masks or requirements to wear masks. It's basically just in response to this virus, which is still ravaging us and still killing. I just wonder, why is it that you don't believe other people exist? That there's 120,000 deaths so far as of this date don't exist? You think people are making up all of this? Like it's just some sort of number? You can verify everything. You can go look into it yourself. I would love for you to look into yourself. I would love for you to look into what the WHO and the CDC says, and the numbers that are coming out of hospitals, and who's controlling those numbers. And if they are controlling those numbers, how are they controlling those numbers? What system are they using? How many people are they counting? What's considered a person? Now, when you get to that question, that's getting onto a whole different subject. They're not counting dogs. They're not counting cats. They're counting people. But if you think they're making up that number, you can feel free to go question that. feel free to question the hospital in your nearest city, and see how much data you can collect about how many people died. I mean, do you need to see their bodies in the morgue in order to verify that those numbers are there? Do you need to be that visual to see the numbers to verify that these are actual people being killed? And you need to see every single one of those 120,000 bodies in order to believe that these people existed, let alone the virus, just that these people existed. If you do, need that much verification, that shows that you do not trust anything in this world. And that tells me that there's a lot of a bigger problem than you just trusting. That there's something involved with that happened in your past, maybe that you don't want to confront. And that's the reason you're having such huge trust issues with the government, the police, the system, the hospitals, doctors, lawyers, scientists, everything. If you don't trust any of that, there's something with you, something that happened to you. And I'm not saying that you're wrong for it. It's just something happened in your past or in your present that's causing some problems that you might want to look into and see if you can get some help with, or just working through it yourself. I'm not going to judge. We all have problems. We all have things that have mentally effed us up, some more than others. But if you need that much proof in order to believe something, and to believe experts, then yeah, let's see. Just be open to the idea that you might need to change your thinking and I keep on hitting my microphone, I'm sorry. Change your thinking, change the way that you are perceiving things, because it might be a touch wrong. Just think about it from that angle. There's no reason to say, no, you're wrong. Well, yeah, if everybody else is wrong except you, then you might be the one. A person who is crazy, who says everybody else is wrong, doesn't realize they're crazy, right? It's only when you're questioning yourself going, am I crazy? That's when you know you're not crazy, because you can ask yourself that question. But if you believe you're 100% right on everything, everybody else is wrong, honey, you need some help. It is not you. It is not us. It's you. And I'm going to be telling you straight to your face. You need to change something up here, because something is affecting you in a way that is not logical, not sane, and not human. So let's get that solved. I hope this rant and this information has been helpful in some sort of way for you. You can feel free to blast me in the comments, see if I care.